My name is Adam. I'm 27 years old, athletic, tall, don't drink, don't smoke, but I don't miss any opportunity with women. Therefore, I live alone in my apartment. I work as a furniture assembler for several companies. One day, my friend Michael called me. Hey, I need your help. We're delivering furniture to your house today. Could you assemble it tomorrow? Hi, what's there? I replied. It's nothing complicated. 2 cabinets, a bed, a dresser, and an entryway. I won't shortchange you on the money. All right, I'll give you your number, he said and hung up. This was perfect, as I had sold my car and hadn't bought a new one yet. I went out to run some errands and returned home at midnight. The following morning, I received a call. Good morning, this is the furniture assembly service. What time is convenient for you? Asked an unfamiliar voice. Good morning. Yes, whenever you're ready to come over, that works for me. Just give me the address, I responded. She gave me the address, and I was surprised to find that the apartment was in my building and even on the same floor. I quickly gathered my tools and knocked on the neighboring door. Who is it? A woman asked. Furniture assembler, I replied. She opened the door and I was stunned. I had never met such a beautiful woman. She looked around 40 to 45 years old, tall, about 5 feet 9 inches. A slender woman with an hourglass figure, a narrow waist, and curvy hips. Honestly, I had only seen women like her in pictures. She was dressed in a long shirt and black leggings. To be honest, my eyes immediately lit up, and I was drooling. She interrupted me. Sorry, but you're really handsome. That was the first thing that came to mind. I blurted out. Did you come here to look at me or to assemble furniture? She said, somewhat annoyed. Furniture, I replied. She led me to the bedroom where the boxes with parts were, and I got to work. I assembled the cabinet fairly quickly, but I forgot the special wheels needed for the installation. So I turned to her. I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. Could you please open the door? She opened it reluctantly and asked, And when should I expect you? I also have a schedule. Just 3 minutes, I replied. I unlocked my door, dashed inside, grabbed what I needed, and returned. So it turns out that you're my neighbor, she smiled. Yes, I replied, returning the smile. What's your name? She asked. Adam, I replied simply. I'm Anna, she introduced herself. What does your name mean? To be strong, I said, laughing. Adam, wait. Can I put my things away before you hang the doors? Sure, I'll work on assembling the bed in the meantime. I started assembling the bed while she brought in her bags and began hanging up laundry. As she leaned down for her items, I was treated to a new view of her beauty. I even managed to snap a picture without her noticing. I quickly finished the bed. She helped put it in place and I laid down the mattress. Adam, do you want coffee or tea? Maybe a snack? Anna asked. Just coffee for me, in about 10 minutes, I replied. She called from the kitchen. Sorry, but as you can see, the kitchen is a mess. The kitchen is ready, but they are asking for $30,000 to install it. I'm looking for someone cheaper to do it, she said. Maybe I could take a look at the kitchen plan? I might be able to install it for less. She brought me the blueprint with the price and leaned on the table to show it to me. As she did, I noticed a gap between her buttons, revealing a lacy bra. $15,000, and I'll install it. If that works for you, you can bring it over. Well, no one has ever called me that, she exclaimed. I completed the dresser and left for home. I washed up and, taking my phone, stared at her picture. I let my imagination run wild. The next day, I returned to finish the remaining tasks, and she was there, dressed in gray. Do you have any friends with a truck and movers to pick up the kitchen? Anna asked. Of course, I answered. I called, and the guys said they could help after lunch. Anna, the guys can only come after 2. If that works for you, I'll give you their number, and you can arrange it. Sounds good, Adam. I'll be out for work, so you can continue with the furniture, she said as she left. But I wasn't feeling very productive. I kept thinking about her. After putting up the frame, I went to wash my hands, and in the bathroom, I saw a laundry basket. Curiously, I opened it and rummaged through. The smell was fantastic. I had to release some steam. Putting everything back, I went to finish the furniture. Time flew by. The guys brought in and set up the kitchen, then I wrapped up my work, but she was still gone. I took photos of the completed furniture and sent them to the company. Sitting around waiting, since I didn't have any keys, I waited until she arrived around 7 p.m. "Anna, I finished everything," I called from the doorway. "That's not true. You didn't install the kitchen." "No, I left that for breakfast," I answered. She went to check everything, and I could see that her mood didn't improve. "How much do I owe you?" she asked. I already left. On the third day of assembly, she left again. I went straight to the bathroom. I had a surprise waiting for me in the basket. I put the kitchen together, connected all the appliances she wanted, and called her. "Anna, the kitchen is ready. What time will you be here?" I asked. "Adam, in about 3 hours. Just close the door and turn the handle. When I arrive, I'll call you, and we can settle up." I went for a shower and simply crashed on my bed. I woke up around 1 p.m., checked my phone, and saw 18 missed calls from my goddess. I decided to call back. "Hello, Anna. I'm sorry, I just fell asleep, and my phone was in the bathroom," I explained. "Adam, why do you scare me like that? And stop calling me a goddess. Is it convenient for you to come over now to settle up?" I knocked on the door, and she opened it. In a black robe that left me breathless, my desire was hard to hide. And that didn't escape her notice. "Let's go to the kitchen," she said. "Coffee or tea? Are we dancing again?" I joked. She poured the coffee, and we sat down. She started telling me about herself, how she was born in Russia, with an Armenian mother and a Russian father. She was married to a German but hadn't lived with him for 4 years. He was there, and she was here. It turned out she had 4 clothing stores. She settled up with me, and I headed home. About a month had passed since I worked on her furniture, and I hadn't seen her again. I devised various excuses to linger by her door. I always stopped there. I bought a car and threw myself into work. "Adam, good afternoon." I heard that familiar voice again. "Anna, good afternoon," I replied. "Do you know any plumbers? The faucet in my bathroom is broken." "I can fix it too, for a kiss," I said, laughing. "All right, when will you be free?" "I need help buying a faucet," she said. I drove home for about 30 minutes. Once there, I called her to say I was ready to accompany her to buy the faucet. We managed pretty quickly, headed to her apartment, and I started changing the faucet. About 40 minutes later, everything was ready. "Anna, the work is done," I announced. She went to the bathroom to check the faucet. "How much do I owe you?" she asked. "For a kiss," I said, moving closer to her. "Adam, I want you. If that's possible." "Me too," I whispered in reply. "Anna, I have hair in there." "It's nothing," I assured her. "I'll take a shower. Is that okay?" "Let's go," she whispered in my ear. I quickly returned to my apartment, took a shower, shaved, got dressed, and knocked on her door again. She opened up in a short robe. I walked in, and we melted back into each other's kisses. "Let's go to bed," she said. I laid her down, and we started kissing. She immediately hinted, "Adam, if you want, don't hold back. I can't have children." "Of course, I don't want to hold back," I replied. And that's how our incredible adventure began. When I woke up the next morning next to her, she was charming. I washed up, put the kettle on, and waited for her to wake up. I didn't want to work today.